Okay, I will say that Vicron's probably worth getting, though that's not on my priority list right now. I have other things I want to buy. And the or was it Origins version of Lady Slither looks promising. You can count on one hand the number of Mode 2 villainesses that exists. Lady Slither being on the second hand. And now let's get on with the thrashing here, as I shall say, the thrashing of Mode 2. Ready for it? Now everybody's having a jolly old time at San Diego Comic Con. I've only been to SDCC once, and that was in 2009 when Smallville was on its next to last season. I think I asked Cassidy Freeman a question. You might want to find if you can find it. Good. If you can't, you can't. But I was the one that asked Cassidy Freeman a question. She's a cute lady. She's moved on. She has a kid now. Anyway, fast forward 14 years, and Pixel Dan is at it again. So we're not going to really watch the videos. I just want to show you. I want to like give commentary on the figures themselves. So if we can get past the... So this is the presentation. Can we enlarge that, please? Okay. So I want to show you, now this is poor quality. Come on, Pixel Dan. You got this chugging slideshow video here. You're supposed to be the establishment here. Got to be better than this. Anyway, he does apologize, but you got to be better than this. Anyway, let's get to the point of this. Now I'm not sure if Pixel Dan was supposed to show footage of the new season or the new, was it Revolution? But anyway, from Revelation is Motherboard. Motherfucking board. Okay, so I don't know much about this figure. I do know that this is Evil Lynn evolved, and she now works for the Horde, and she killed Skeletor, I think, or destroyed him. I don't know what she did. This is a $60 figure. So in the time you could have bought Peakman 4, you bought this instead. This is a, what, 12-inch figure? Like Malebolgia, or some other thing like that. Like, remember when, I think to me, Malebolgia was the first large figure, and it's had a 15-inch wingspan. This is Motherboard. I think she might have a 15-inch wingspan and 20-inch something else. And this one is 60 bucks. I don't really care. It looks okay, but it's not for me. Chances are, if you will, there's going to be something you're going to like, but I don't care about this. I don't. Let's move on. Revolution Skeletech. We'll get more into that one. There's more detail. I thought they misspelled Skeletor, but it's a cyborg Skeletor. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it has some appeal, but not to me. Here they showed off the Masterverse packaging, but I don't give a shit about that. It's not like the old days. I wish they had taken the Origins, you know, the retro vintage, like classic back, and updated it with this kind of art for now, like for the today, but whatever. Here's the Meg Foster Evil Lynn. I guess above average. Here is New Eternia Trapjaw. Not very excited about this one. Here they're covering over the Origin sculpts, I think for the Filmation figures. There's slight differences, but nothing to get me excited about. Here they're covering the Evolution. So on the far right, you can see the Filmation stuff. I think that's Snake Man on the third one. So Lady Slither is something I am interested in. Vicron is hit or miss, but that's what they're doing. Wow, another Beastman. You know, the New Eternia Beastman's still like at Target, like on like knockoff prices. Like, let's get rid of these Beastmen. You could find them anywhere. New Eternia Beastman you could find anywhere. And this one, they're making another one. How many more do we need? Night Stalker's fine. It's you know, if He-Man has a horse, so can Skeletor, right? So I have low interest in this. It really doesn't do much for me. If it was a more souped up version, like a Four Horsemen version, I guess this is how I think. Extendar, Now this Cyclone here that you can barely see is a combination of like 2000X and regular Cyclone. I already have one from the Four Horsemen edition, the 2000X, the actual one. But for those of you who don't have it, okay, so here are stills from one of Pixel Dan's coverage here. Now, you can see there's battle armor He-Man. I have Battle Sound He-Man. I guess it all depends on the person, right? So below him is the resurrected Orko from Revelation. Let's see if we can get a close-up on that. That's him here. There is Skeletech, Cyborg Skeletor. I mean, if you have to have these, right? Gwildor I was never a fan of, but this one looks all right, but it's not something I'm desperately... And I think the ugliest one probably is... let's get a close-up on that one if we can. Yeah, it's kind of tacky, but I mean, I always thought of Serpos, the snake goddess, as Tila, but that's just me. Orko, Resurrected Orko is probably the winner here, but that's not saying much because the damn cartoon was just unwatchable. Why did he even have to die to begin with? Die and come back. It's like, oops, sorry, we're going to bring him back because that pissed off fans. So here we have Cartoon He-Man and Beastman. I'm not salivating over this. I think mostly because if these figures had come out in the 80s, when they should have, I think people would have wanted them more. That was the time for them to come out. So, no, I'm not really feeling these at all. Not for me. I mean, maybe if they included other figures, other characters like Star Child or I mean, I'm just thinking of characters. Remember Prince Adam's stuck-up cousin? Something like that. Something you could only find in the Filmation universe besides, He-Man and Skeletor. If they really built upon this. But I think they're just kind of dabbling in, oh, let's do this here, let's do that there, let's do this. I'm not saying they shouldn't have multiple universes, but you really got to get the attention. Like, if people paid attention to those episodes, I try to think of, I think Granomir was a figure, right? But he was also appeared in the Filmation. Like, if they made a new second edition Granomir, right? Where they had a free Man-at-Arms. I'm trying to think of other ones. There were other ones that only appeared in the Filmation stuff. Like some of the Horde, right? Some of the Horde members only appeared in the cartoon. Some of the, like, one that looked like Colonel Clink with the Horde armor. Now, the Sunman stuff, I'm not too interested in. The Skeleton Warriors, not to be confused with Skeleton Warriors, right? Let's take a closer look. See, there they are here, right? But weren't they showed off last year? We haven't seen them for a whole year. It's like the PlayStation 5, like you wait forever. Rock-On looks fine, or is it Rock-On? Yeah, there's no Stondar, I think. There's another Skeletor. I think this Filmation Skeletor, I think, or it's just another Skeletor. There is, I was going to call him Evil Steed, but I think it's Night Stalker. I wanted to call him Evil Steed, but there's an Evil Seed. They have mini comics, so there's some things they're doing right because that's the tradition. Yeah, I guess Fangor. That's this one here, Fangor. There's Mossman in the back. Recycled Beastman, of course. And the only one worth a damn is Lady Slither. She's worth a damn. I might pick up this one. I don't know when they're going to release it. Now here we have Man-at-Arms without the mustache. With the mustache, there is Mecha-Neck with his own extendable neck. So it's good for those of you who've never had a Mecha-Neck figure. Because in the, not so much the Filmation, but the 2000X, he had an extendable neck. I don't know about Revelation, if he did. And then to the left of Mecha-Neck, you've got Triclops. And Triclops looks more classic looking. These ones aren't going to grab me in particular. If I've held on to these figures, if you didn't get married and your wife didn't make you throw out the old toys, then, you're probably feeling like I do. So let's see what else we have. So here we have Snout Spout. I have a 4 Horsemen statue of Snout Spout, like the stationary figure, right? No action. It's still cool. I love it. This one looks like it does some tribute to that. If you want to get Snout Spout, that's a good way you can get that one. It doesn't squirt water, I think. So it's more for posing. I can kind of tell it doesn't squirt out water. So that's kind of too bad. But no pun intended to that figure. That one's still in Target too for New Eternia. So that one looks like it's worth collecting. I know he has a new gimmick where his arm becomes his mouth and you can replace the jaw, but it's still another trap jaw. Not for me, really. Now, I'll tell you, there was a sense of wonder when I got... This was like the first new figure since the 2000X collection that I got. Um, and I liked this Faker because it was like kind of truer, more realistic than the blue one, right? Though they have explained like in later versions that Skeletor would trick the Gar people into thinking that He-Man was a Gar of the Gar people, right? That was the whole thing. But I liked this one that he actually imitated He-Man. Like you almost think it's He-Man, and then you realize, oh, it's not. It's Faker. And then like I'll show you a couple more. These are the ones. This one got sold out on Mattel Creations. I think Vicron is a Mattel Creations exclusive, but I made sure to get this one. So if you can find it on Amazon, go to town for that. And then let's put Skeletor next to him. So there was a whole, like discovery about these characters, like getting the new ones. Even if they made some based on Paul Gerard's art, that those figures, like these ones here, like they were amazing. I don't think I have the patience like I used to. Like I didn't mind collecting the CGI cartoon versions of these characters. I really didn't mind it. That's when I was on the hunt for those ones because I knew those were going to be harder to find than, say, the Masterverse or the Origins. The classics are the rarest ones. Sometimes you can find one, sometimes you couldn't. I was lucky to get a hold of, what is it? The Faceless one because of the two. I got more into the 2000X cartoon, even though there are way more episodes in the Filmation era. And I have to start watching those again. But that there was more detail and the lore was written out better in 2000X. And then when I got into the DC Comics in 2013 and 14, it was even better. You can go back through my videos. I wanted figures from that era. I wanted figures that were more distinct characters. It feels like they're just kind of rehashing the same stuff. Now, to be fair, they do have to put some, new arms and legs here and there, okay? It can't just be complete laziness. Though, like with, what is it, He Skeletor? I think they just repainted it. So that was kind of dumb. There are some they just repaint, and other ones they'll add a new sword or add a new shield or add a new head mold, add new arms. They don't have to do too much. Whatever saves them money. Now, I say this because most of you are like, there are some of you, you're supposed to, there's this socially acceptable idea that you're supposed to be this autistic man-child who has to collect every single thing of every single thing. You notice that I have like certain figures, certain things, but I never have like this complete collection of one thing that's everywhere. I used to have that when I was a kid. And as I got older, went through puberty, went through high school, went through college, He-Man wasn't there anymore. He-Man was not there for me. So that was the thing that just kind of came and went. And when my dad had passed away shortly after He-Man returned, and then He-Man came and left. The cartoon got canceled after 3 seasons. This new cartoon here got canceled after 3 seasons. So that's a big fuck you. It really was. And I was disappointed. So I was disappointed by the presentation. It's not that there are no good figures in there. There are a couple, as I pointed out, but each person to his own, what he or she might like about the figures, okay? It's just that there was nothing to really get me as much. And they didn't show the Mega Construx Eternia. I might want to get that. There's a couple of things, but it's not like, where you're just stacking boxes and boxes of figures and toys and stuff. I just don't have that energy. Some people do, and I just don't. I think the energy is kind of dead. As I think Clownfish said, this may be the last run. They may be done with all this because they're not selling them in the stores anymore. They're going to sell new figures at Mattel Creations or maybe Amazon, wherever they can, Entertainment Earth, wherever they have to go to sell these. I'm checked out mostly. So next week I want to get Ratchet and Clank for the Steam Deck. I may be buying Justice League War World, either on disc. If not on disc, I'll get it on demand. So I don't want to I don't want to be spending money all over the place. If I do get Vicron, it would probably be much later. And Lady Slither, whenever they're ready to release that damn figure. But I would like to get Lady Slither. Outside of that, I don't care about the new Orko because I don't care about the cartoon of the Kevin Smith shit. I don't really care. So maybe there's something you like. If you don't like any of them, I do understand. There's just too many of the same figures, too many of the same ones. Recycle the same figures so that even if it's a new mold or a new shape, it's not too different from what, you don't have to think too hard. You could just, you know, shit out another Man-at-Arms, shit out another Tila, maybe another Sorceress. You know, there's like maybe a handful of figures that have not been re-released. You know, some from Filmation, some from the space era. You know, what about the leader of the mutants? What about those guys? Optic. So many figures that Flip Shot. Remember Flip Shot? I don't know. Anyway, if you like this video, oh wait, but I think it can't get much worse than this, can it? Not at San Diego Comic-Con, right? What's happening? What is this? No! No! Stop that! Put it away! Oh my god! Fucking musical! No! No, no, no! Stop this shit! I've died.